Joe Walsh, AM 560, The Answer. Man, I'll tell you, this was a big old story yesterday, and it's still a big old story today. And I find it fascinating because it says so much about us as a country. The U.S. Patent Office, in a very rare move, canceled the Washington Redskins trademark. Canceled the trademark Redskins. Big deal. Now, again, they canceled it because they said the word Redskins is disparaging and racist and offensive. Now, you need to know that the Washington Redskins have been down this road before. They've had to fight back, I think, a couple court battles before. They've said they're going to appeal this case, and nothing's going to happen for a while. They're going to fight it, and I hope that the Washington Redskins owner, as I said last night, guy's name is Dan Snyder, I hope he stays firm on this and fights it as hard as he can. But, man, you know what? I find this so curious, interesting. And I find it so, I have found the media coverage of this issue really, really confusing. I don't understand. Again, I've been told in the last day or two that Redskins is a racist term. It's offensive. It's disparaging. It's every bit as racist as all those other bad, derogatory terms that we've all heard and we all say in private. Some say in public. But something curious to me. If it was so bad, if this word Redskins was so bad and was really racist, why do so many people say it? Why is it in print? And it's just not just people like me, liberals say Redskins. I mean, my gosh, here's CNN anchor Don Lemon. He was on the radio this morning, and he went off on this Redskin issue, and he compared it to some of the other bad words.
An offensive word that many people hate and think should be banned. Others say not so fast. There's nothing wrong with using the word, especially when we're talking about a group of people we hold dear, we like, and we even love. Sounds like I'm talking about the N-word, right? Which has been debated, discussed, and reported countless times, but I am not. This time, it is the dreaded R word. I'm talking about Redskins.
Huh? I'm confused at a bunch of levels. He basically, and he went on to say that this R word is the next N word. The R word Redskins. He said Redskins is the next N word. Now, what's a problem with that statement? I see a big there's a big stoplight just staring in front of me. Redskins is the next N-word. What's the N-word? And I'm not trying to be cute. I'm not trying to be clever. I'm not trying to be funny here. What is the N-word? It sounds like it must be really bad because he doesn't want to say it. He doesn't have a problem saying Redskins. And so I'm confused. If Redskins is every bit as this bad as this thing over here called the N-word, then why did he say Redskins? And what is the N-word? 312-642-5600. Can anybody call in and tell me what in God's name is the N-word? I'm assuming it's terrible because he won't say it. But if it's really bad, and this thing called the R word, Redskins, is every bit as bad, why did he say Redskins? Why did he say that? That doesn't make sense. He went on.
It's very similar to the way Negro became the pejorative Nigger to distinguish between Africans living in Africa from Africans living in the United States.
Is that the N-word? Negro? Is that the word Negro? Is that the N-word he's talking about? That's so darn bad and so darn racist? Well, I don't think so. That doesn't.
My name is David Hochberg, and I'm president of Townstone Financial. If you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. If you have an FHA loan, listen very carefully. FHA will allow current FHA borrowers to refinance into another FHA loan without an appraisal as long as your mortgage payment is decreasing 5%. This is a great program, but FHA basically tripled the mortgage insurance they charge. This genius move by FHA disqualifies most FHA borrowers from refinancing. But I have great news. Property values have stabilized and increased enough in some areas for you to refinance out of your FHA loan and into a conventional loan at a lower rate, which could save you thousands of dollars a year. If you have an FHA loan and want to see if you qualify to refinance, give me a call at 312-896-2111. That's 312-896-2111. 312-896-2111. Townsend Financial is in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, and Illinois mortgage licensee 6629 and MLS 136639.
Sunday night at 8. It's the Frankie and Izzy Show. Two local guys talking about issues that matter. Discussions about the topics you care about and that affect you.
I'm starting to worry about that.
Look, folks, he's just like a liberal. He's changed his mind within 20 minutes. Hey, I could tell you this, that what's wrong with a right-to-work state? What's wrong with giving the employer the power to fire and hire people? I mean, what is this notion that it's the employees? Look, the employees, no question, help the employer facilitate their business, but guess what? They are being compensated for it.
Sunday night at 8 on AM 560, The Answer. There's nothing else like it.
Seeks nothing but the truth.
Well,
okay?
Issues that matter. It's the Frankie and Izzy Show. Check them out at frankieandizzy.com. On Facebook, search for the Frankie and Izzy Show. And listen, Sunday night at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, 312-642-5600. Just if you're curious, we did not experience technical difficulties. I guess I said something. I'm sure it wasn't Leo. I guess I said something that station and management didn't want me to say. I don't think it was Redskins. I understand.
If you're heading southbound on the Tri-State now, it is just a solid mess from Willow to Southwest Highway. We got a disabled vehicle that blocks the two left lanes. Northbound delayed 88 to the 290 as well. On the rest of the expressways, the Edens to Lake Cook 21 coming in 39. Kennedy stop and go from Montrose all the way to River Road to the O'Hare is 42, back in 39. Eisenhower to Manheim 38, Thorndale 59, in from Thorndale it's an hour. Stevenson out to the Tri-State 43 to 355, 55, in from 355, 41. Outbound Ryan on the brakes 51st to the Skyway to 95th, 25 coming in at 21. Southbound Lakeshore Drive busy north to Chicago. Northbound seeing a backup from Monroe to Chicago. Next update in 15 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
It's the semi-annual sale at Back to Bed, Chicagoland's favorite mattress store. Buy now and get a special purchase Beauty Rest Queen mattress for only $309. You save nearly $400 or save up to 60% on any other Beauty Rest. Plus, your purchase includes a free bed frame, free next day delivery, and free setup and removal. And for Tempur-Pedic's fresh new 2014 mattresses, come back to bed and make yourself comfortable. Sale ends Monday.
This just in, over $50 million have been found in the pockets of many Illinois politicians. That's right. Can you believe that? One would wonder why Illinois has the biggest pension problem in the history of America. Where did the money come from, you say? Good question. It came from the Teachers Union. If you would like to find out more about it, go to IllinoisPensionScam.com. At IllinoisPensionScam.com, you can find out why Illinois is the most broke and corrupt state in the country.
Hey, the school year has come to an end, but it's not too early to start thinking about where you might want to send your kids to school next year. If you've thought about sending your son or daughter to a private school but don't think you can afford it, I want to tell you about halfpriceschools.com. At halfpriceschools.com, you can find dozens of local private schools that are offering vouchers for a full year of tuition at half the price. There's no catch. Find a school near you, purchase the tuition voucher, and prepare to send your child off to school this fall. HalfPriceSchools.com has schools located all across Chicagoland, including schools in Itasca, Grays Lake, Chicago Heights, and Chicago. This might make private school a real option for your family for the first time. But don't wait. Many of these vouchers will sell out. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. That's halfpriceschools.com.
So I'm sure you're wondering how it is we deliver 2 newscasts an hour, filled with the latest information from around the world, along with local news, traffic, and weather. The truth is, you don't want to know. It's kind of like watching a video about how hot dogs are made. Then you never want to eat another hot dog again. And you definitely don't want to know what happens when we bring you a breaking story as it's happening. Just go on chewing your hot dog with news updates twice an hour on AM 560. The Answer. AM 560. The Answer.
Joe Walsh, AM 560, The Answer. If you're confused, join the club. Join the club. You should know enough about me. I'm not trying to be cute, clever, or funny. I'm every bit as confused as you are. And just so you know, I didn't get through my first segment. Heck, I didn't get through the weather report. Because I guess I said a word, and as soon as I said that word, they shut the show off. Management or the technical people, whatever, they went right to a commercial break as soon as I said the word. Now I'm thinking it wasn't the word Redskins. Okay, so Redskins, it's okay to say Redskins. Here's my problem with this whole Redskins thing. We're told that the Redskins is a racist thing to say. Liberals tell us all the time, Redskins is every bit as bad as the N-word. Every bit as bad. Well, then why do liberals and all of us, why do we say Redskins? And look, I'm still on the air. Look, I'm still on the air. Redskins is every bit as bad as the N-word, but when I say Redskins, I'm still on the air. When I say the N-word, boom, right away they go to a commercial, and they dump out of it so that you don't hear me say the actual N-word. Why is that? Why is that? And oh, by the way, let me ask another question, and I'll ask this question of my station, Chicken Station, and I'll ask this question of every media outlet out there. How in God's name can you have an honest discussion about racial terms, racist terms, derogatory terms, and not verbalize those terms? How can you do that? CNN, Don Lemon, here he's Don Lemon. Don Lemon did a whole show on the N-word. And you know what? He said the N-word. CNN. But CNN let him stay on TV. They didn't cut him off. AM 560, The Answer, cuts me off. I'm going to test AM 560, The Answer right now. Okay, so here's the deal. I can say Redskins. Phew, okay, good. I'm still with you. Let me try another one. I'm Irish. Hey, you dirty mix. Dirty mix, I'm still on the air. Okay. I'm married. I think I'm still on the air. Okay. A real derogatory term, an offensive term. And I would never call a Mexican this term. But when we have a discussion on racist and derogatory terms,
Has your stockbroker or financial advisor talked to you about strategies to minimize your taxes in retirement? Have they shown you how to maximize your Social Security benefits or any estate planning strategies to protect the people that you love? Then maybe it is time to graduate to a qualified retirement advisor. Let me give you a name, the Alpha Wealth Group right here in Chicago. Because things like tax planning, Social Security, and protecting your estate all play a critical role in retirement. And you'll be shocked to see what can happen when all of these critical components come together. Find out how with a free customized retirement analysis from the Alpha Wealth Group, one of Chicago's most respected names in retirement planning. Now, typically this analysis would cost thousands, but for the first 10 callers right now, it is absolutely free. To get your free customized retirement analysis from the Alpha Wealth Group right here in Chicago, call 800-748-3185. Call now, 1-800-748-3185 for the Alpha Wealth Group.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman. Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. You can keep it forever for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-800-642-8896. 1-800-642-8896. That's 1-800-642-8896. 1-800-642-8896.
Police called and broke the bad news to Charles. His personal and financial information was found on an identity thief's computer disk. Nervous and confused, Charles called LifeLock, the industry leader in identity theft protection. LifeLock went into action, uncovering multiple fraudulent credit applications the identity thief was trying to open in his name. LifeLock shut them down and helped him restore his good name and credit. Charles found out the hard way that identity theft is a global crime, a crime that's become so complex you simply can't fight it alone. Your personal and financial information is everywhere. Don't wait for a call from the police before you take action. Visit lifelock.com now or call and mention promo code AWARE to get a special 10% discount. Call 1-800-838-6010. 800-838-6010. 800-838-6010. See lifelock.com for details. Network does not cover all transactions and scope may vary.
AM 560, The Answer.
Joe Walsh, AM 560, The Answer, cut off again. Man, this is getting really confusing now. Cut off again. Apologize. We are not experiencing technical difficulties. It seems that when I say certain words, I get cut off. So what I'm going to try to do, and I'm going to stay at this, because this is too darn important. I've been told by everybody in the media that don't cut me off, Leo. Redskins is a terrible thing to say. It's every bit as offensive as the N-word. I've been told that by everybody the last couple of days. And yet maybe I'm stupid. When I say the word Redskins, this is so cool. I'm still on the air. But when I say the other word, the N-word, they cut me off. I don't understand what that difference is. Liberals and everybody, they use Redskins all the time. I'm white. Hey, everybody, I know you can't see me right now, but I'm white. Boy, I'll tell you, you call me a honky or a cracker, man, I'll tell you, that disparages a lot of white people. Hey, that's cool. Leo, I'm still on the air. I guess you can offend white people. You honky, you cracker. Wow, I tried to say it really loud, and I'm still on the air. Hey, coming up after the news with Dave Stewart, we are going to stay at this. Don't you go away. Don't you go away.
Follow Joe on Twitter @WalshFreedom.
Are you anxious and worried all the time? Do you just feel miserable and make everybody around you miserable too? Yeah, I was just like you once, and I hated it. Then I called to try a sample of Lumiday, and I feel so much better now. Maybe you should try it too.
If you worry too much, feel anxious or exhausted, Lumiday can help you feel more relaxed, confident, and positive. Enjoy a complimentary 2-week sample now by calling 1-800-664-0599. Lumiday is uniquely formulated with powerful ingredients clinically researched to promote a more positive mood. Lumiday has helped thousands of people feel more relaxed and enjoy happier days. And it's now the #1 selling mood enhancement supplement at GNC. So if you're ready to feel more relaxed, confident, and positive, call now for your complimentary sample. Lumiday is available at GNC, Rite Aid pharmacies, and Vitamin World. But you can only get your complimentary 2-week sample by calling now. 1-800-664-0599. That's 1-800-664-0599.
This summer, while the rest of Chicago is enjoying the outdoors, there will be those wrongly diagnosed with agoraphobia, locked away inside their homes. It's not crowds or leaving a safe place they fear. It's being without AM 560 The Answer and all the news, traffic, weather, opinion, and insight. Hey, pitch the Prozac. Download the AM 560 mobile app and re-enter society with the confidence that AM 560 The Answer will be wherever you go. Now, if it's clowns or spiders you fear, stay inside. They're everywhere out there.
When you order your free report, you will begin your free trial membership of Equifax Complete. This offer is in addition to the free credit report provided by federal law. For complete cancellation and refund policies, go to www.equifaxfreetrial.com.
Kate, I just got the lease terms on that new car. They're much stricter than they originally told me because of my credit score.
What? I figured credit would affect the interest, but not the actual terms and conditions.
I know. I'm not going to be able to get the car now. I just don't understand. What a mess.
You know who does understand your credit? Equifax. We specialize in helping people stay on top of their credit so you can help avoid unwelcome surprises that can negatively impact your life. Our Equifax Complete plan shows you an ongoing picture of your credit, not just a one-time credit score. And now you can try it free for 7 days. Yes, free. For your free trial, go to EquifaxFreeTrial.com and enter code 2929 as part of the registration process. www.EquifaxFreeTrial.com, code 2929. That's www.EquifaxFreeTrial.com, code 2929.
Coming up, more of our in-depth discussion on racist and derogatory terms. Let's see if Joe Walsh can do this without getting cut off. Right after the news with Dave Stewart.
Thank you, Joe. Good evening. It's 74 degrees in Chicago at 6:30 on AM 560, The Answer. President Obama says the U.S. is prepared to take targeted and precise military action in Iraq. He said he's prepared to send about 300 military advisors to help curb the growing militant insurgency there. The president said the U.S. will also share intelligence with the Iraqi government.
We're prepared to create joint operations centers in Baghdad and northern Iraq to share intelligence and coordinate planning to confront the terrorist threat of ISIL.
The president said there is no military solution to the growing crisis in Iraq. Illinois' Peter Roskam lost his bid today to move up the Republican congressional leadership ladder in the wake of the primary defeat of former Majority Leader Eric Cantor. Californian Kevin McCarthy won the secret ballot to succeed Cantor as Majority Leader. McCarthy's former role as whip was being sought by Roskam in a three-way race that was won by Steve Scalise of Louisiana. U.S. Senator Mark Kirk says he's shaken up over the sudden death of one of his staffers, Lisa Rodonio.
Lisa Rodonio was one of the brightest lights of my Washington, D.C. office. She was such a strong supporter of mine, somebody that I will miss with every fiber of my being. To have her die on us yesterday was a big blow, especially for a young woman in her 30s.
Rodonio died of a massive pulmonary embolism yesterday. She was the daughter of Illinois Senate Minority Leader Christine Rodonio. A St. Charles couple's facing charges for allegedly helping their son run a mail-order marijuana business. 56-year-old Anthony Salemi and 52-year-old Gina Salemi are accused of laundering the proceeds of the sale of drugs that their son shipped in from California. Prosecutors say their son and his girlfriend would ship pot in the mail to buyers in Illinois. Those buyers would pay the Salemis. How bad's the traffic? We'll have the answer in a minute on AM 560, The Answer.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
He knew exactly what to do.
I had no clue what I was doing.
We set up the rocket.
Hit ignition.
And then...
And then nothing. Ha, 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 ha. Sometimes I laugh when I'm frustrated.
Then out of nowhere, the rocket launched into the air.
The rocket did get into the air.
I've never seen anything fly so high.
And then crashed into a kite.
Look out! Look out!
And then the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It's time to take a look at the traffic at 6:34 on AM 560 from the ChicagoRadioDeals.com Traffic Center. Here's Paula Holmes.
Thanks, Dave. We got troubles on the southbound side of the tri-state. It's a giant mess. Willow to Southwest Highway with a stalled semi that blocks the two left lanes. Northbound also seeing brake lights from 88 to the 290. On the Edens to Lake Cook 21, coming in 39, solid from the tri-state spur to Montrose. Outbound Kennedy, that's loaded from Montrose all the way to River Road, out to O'Hare 42, in from O'Hare 36. Eisenhower to Thorndale 48, coming in 57. Stevenson to the tri-state 43, your inbound ride at 28. The Ryan and 95th 25, coming in at 21. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, busy Michigan to Chicago. Northbound on the brakes, Monroe to Chicago. And Monroe to Hollywood is a 25-minute ride. This report brought to you by Santa's Village Amusement Park in East Dundee, Illinois, celebrating 55 years of family fun. More rides, more games, more shows, more fun. Come for the nostalgia, stay for the fun. Visit santasvillagedundee.com. Next update in 15 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Just ahead of more Joe Walsh, your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, couple of showers or thunderstorms later, a low 66. Partly sunny and warm tomorrow with showers and thunderstorms possible again early in the day, high 83. Right now, 74 at O'Hare. Weather's a service of Morrison Security, securing America coast to coast, morrisonsecurity.com. Next news update, 7 o'clock. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. We got more Joe Walsh next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560 The Answer.
Joe Walsh, AM 560 The Answer. Just so you're not confused, no, we have not been experiencing technical difficulties this past half hour. It seems that when I say certain words or say certain things, I get cut off. What I'm trying to do is have an honest, straightforward discussion about racist and derogatory terms. And I'm beginning to learn, fascinating to me, just fascinating, that there are certain terms that are okay and certain that aren't. You can say cracker, but you can't say the N-word. So, and again, what brought us here is this whole craziness with the Washington Redskins. And by the way, if you want to weigh in, do 312-642-5600. We're told by all the mainstream media that Redskins is the next N-word. That doesn't make sense to me. If Redskins is the next N-word, according to political correctness in America today, you shouldn't be able to say Redskins, right? You should say the R word is the next N-word, right? Isn't that consistent? The R word is the next N-word. But nobody has a problem saying Redskins, so I went to bed last night really confused. Redskins, it's really popular. They're the third most profitable NFL team, Washington Redskins. How can that be the N-word? You see, here's what I think. If Joe Walsh got on the radio right now and I said that son of a gun is a beep, and I called him an N-word, or I called him the K-word, or I called him the H-word, or the D-word, or the... If I find all of these terms offensive, really do. I don't think I've ever called in my life a black person the N-word. I've never called in my life a Mexican person the S-word. Man, I'm the most pro-Israel former member of Congress. I've never called a Jewish American the K-word. But silly me, because they are all offensive. They are all disparaging. Now, I believe in a free country where you should be able to say whatever you want to say. But if you say something racist or offensive to somebody, you know what? You may lose an election. You may lose a friend. You may lose a nose or an eye. They may punch you. But imagine AM 560, The Answer. Hey, imagine this radio station of mine. I love them, but they seem to be a little skittish, a little cautious when I say certain words. And I don't understand that. Even CNN. You talk about a gutless network. CNN did a special earlier this year on the N-word. And you know what? the host of the special actually verbalized the N-word. Oh, my God, and nobody died and everybody was okay. Just imagine that we were hosting a seminar on racist and derogatory language. Imagine that. A really in-depth discussion with people from all over the spectrum. A seminar on what is racist, what are racist and derogatory terms. How could you have a discussion, an honest discussion, an informed seminar on what is racist and derogatory if all you did was spend an hour saying, well, you can't say the N-word, you can't say the C-word. Excuse me, somebody'd raise their hand. What do you mean by the N-word? What's the C-word? You can't say the S-word. Excuse me, what's the S-word? No, that is a scared, politically correct, I'm afraid kind of a seminar. If you're going to have an honest discussion and a serious, thoughtful discussion about what is a racist term and racist to who, what is a derogatory term and derogatory to who, man, it's incomplete and it's cowardly not to at least say, well, these are the terms. Okay? So I've got white people, black people, Hispanic people, Indians, men, women, Mexicans, you name it. Everybody's in my symposium, in my seminar. Okay, let's have a discussion. What's derogatory? What's racist? Well, I'm white. When you say cracker or honky, that really bothers me. Okay, I get that. I'm a Christian evangelical.
One of the reasons we won the Super Bowl in 1985 is because we had a great defense. Hi, this is Mike Ditka. In today's uncertain financial times, you need retirement accounts with defense you can count on. The stock market, it's a roller coaster. It can have a disastrous impact on your retirement. Now, Steve DeJohn and the DeJohn Advisory Team have been growing and protecting retirement accounts for years. Their product of choice, fixed index annuities. Now, these are not risky securities on Wall Street. They are insurance products with protection. If the market does well, so does your account. If the market does poorly, your account is protected. The DeJohn Advisory Team offers hundreds of products for your IRAs, 401ks, or any other retirement money. Call 866-515-6669 or visit retainyourgains.com and request their 10-minute DVD. Tell them Coach Ditka sent you. Call now and see which plan is right for you. 866-515-6669. That's 866-515-6669.
You may think having a wall safe is only for the super rich. That's not true. A small wall safe may be just what you need to keep your valuables out of the wrong hands. The wrong hands don't always belong to a burglar. Valuables left in plain sight can also be a temptation for a repairman, house cleaner, even a neighbor or party guest you allow into your home. Keeping things out of view and locked up is a good ounce of prevention. A small wall safe is pretty easy to install since it's usually sized to fit between studs placed 16 inches apart. It's a straightforward do-it-yourself project that involves cutting a panel out of the drywall or plaster, then screwing the safe into the studs. Remember, though, that the same things that make a safe so easy to install also make it easy to get out. A determined burglar can cut the safe out, then figure out later how to open it. So the best place to install a wall safe is out of sight, inside a closet, or behind a piece of furniture. Get more info at bobvila.com.
This has been the At Home Minute on AM 560, The Answer.
So I'm sure you're wondering how it is we deliver 2 newscasts an hour, filled with the latest information from around the world, along with local news, traffic, and weather. The truth is, you don't want to know. It's kind of like watching a video about how hot dogs are made. Then you never want to eat another hot dog again. And you definitely don't want to know what happens when we bring you a breaking story as it's happening. Just go on chewing your hot dog with news updates twice an hour on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm working 2 jobs and my husband works too. My kids go to school with your kids. I sit next to you at PTA meetings. We live right next door. We've been neighbors for years. You know my family and me pretty well, but here's one thing you don't know. I'm 1 out of every 6 Americans, and my family is struggling with hunger. Like you, we believe in this country, What's hard to believe is in the land of milk and honey, how many hardworking Americans have to choose between paying bills and feeding their families. This is a problem with a solution. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 7 meals for those around you quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
AM 560, The Answer.
Joe Walsh, AM 560, The Answer. Man, I apologize, everybody. I'm still trying to whack at this. I apologize. I don't know what my station's doing. My general manager just came down. I got cut off again. And just for those of you just jumping in and listening right now, understand something. This whole Redskins issue just pisses me off. I'm told that Redskins is every bit as racist as the N-word, so there can be no Washington Redskins. Well, to me, that's really hypocritical. I don't get it. If Redskins is like the N-word, then why do you get to say Redskins, but you don't say the N-word? So I'm trying to have a discussion on this entire topic, racist and derogatory terms, and doggone it, son of a gun, every time I say certain terms, I get cut off. This station, AM 560, The Answer, cuts me off, and it's really starting to piss me off. It's really starting to piss me off because this is what chickens do. This is what, we're never going to get beyond race in this country unless we can be honest and direct with each other. So my general manager comes into the studio for the second time 5 minutes ago. Stop. Move on to another topic. Move on to another subject. I got to keep cutting you off if you say certain things. No, I'm sorry, I said to my general manager, no. This is an important discussion. It's important talking about these things. And how can you talk about things if you don't verbalize the words? It's like talking about pancakes and you can't discuss how pancakes are made. That's just silly. Now, that wasn't the analogy I used with my general manager, but I politely asked him to leave my studio, and I'm gonna try again. I'm a slow learner, but I'm starting to pick it up. I say Redskins. Look, Joe Walsh is still here. I say cracker, offends a lot of white people. Whoo, doggy, I'm still here. I say whitey or honky, no big deal, no big deal. Joe Walsh is on the air. It seems that when I say the N-word or I use that derogatory S-word for Hispanics, I'm sorry, we can't do that. You can make fun of white people or maybe other classes of people, but those are two words you can't use. Well, let me tell you something, and I'll direct this toward everybody listening. I'm going to try another tack. I'm going to try a sneak attack here. I prided myself on being the most pro-Israel member of Congress. I am married to a lovely Jewish woman, my partner, my lover, my wife, my everything. I am hugely pro-Israel. If I heard any unbelievably offensive...
I don't believe it. My savings are gone. They're gone.
You're kidding.
Nope, they're gone. They're gone.
Okay, all right. Think about it. Where did you have them last?
I remember I was home, then I took them, and then I spent them on that vacation to Aruba. Then I bought this miniature suit of armor I saw in the in-flight magazine.
And that's the last you saw of your savings?
Yes.
This is so weird.
I know, right?
Weird? Not really. Not saving now means no money later. You'd be surprised how quickly a little money from every paycheck can really add up. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
The armor is cool, though. Oops. I think I broke its gauntlet.
You broke my favorite part.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me, whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This summer, while the rest of Chicago is enjoying the outdoors, there will be those wrongly diagnosed with agoraphobia, locked away inside their homes. It's not crowds or leaving a safe place they fear. It's being without AM 560 The Answer and all the news, traffic, weather, opinion, and insight. Hey, pitch the Prozac. Download the AM 560 mobile app and re-enter society with the confidence that AM 560 The Answer will be wherever you go. Now, if it's clowns or spiders you fear, stay inside. They're everywhere.
My name is Tom Thornton.
And my name is Cindy Thornton. We've been married 38 years. We're retired, and this is how we live united.
We play golf and we travel, but we also decided we were going to give to and volunteer with United Way at our community free health clinic.
I do the nursing at the clinic.
I work the front office, checking in patients, greeting them, making them feel comfortable.
United Way is how we contribute because we know our time and money are going to the right places, the places that need it most and implement it best.
Judging by the thank yous we get at the clinic, I'd say we're doing the right thing with our retirement, too.
We even get a few bless yous. It's incredible.
We're Tom and Cindy Thornton. We volunteer at our community free health clinic, so we don't just wear the shirt.
We live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
So I'm sure you're wondering how it is we deliver 2 newscasts an hour, filled with the latest information from around the world, along with local news, traffic, and weather. The truth is, you don't want to know. It's kind of like watching a video about how hot dogs are made. Then you never want to eat another hot dog again. And you definitely don't want to know what happens when we bring you a breaking story as it's happening. Just go on chewing your hot dog with news updates twice an hour on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, I'm Ben Affleck. The only thing better than playing a hero in the movies is being a hero in real life. Like the 50,000 veterans who returned from Iraq and Afghanistan with devastating injuries. They are true heroes, and they're why I'm proud to support Paralyzed Veterans of America. For more than 60 years, Paralyzed Veterans of America has made a promise to never leave a fallen comrade behind. They make sure veterans with spinal cord injuries get the quality medical care, rehabilitation, and housing they need when they come home. They stay with our fallen heroes for the long term, offering counseling, job training, and support to help them regain the freedom and independence they fought so hard for, all at no cost to them. Our veterans fought for us. Let's fight for them. To learn more about how you can help, visit pva.org. That's pva.org. We will never leave a fallen comrade behind.
A public service message from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
AM 560, The Answer.
Joe Walsh, AM 560, The Answer. General manager just came into my studio again, cut me off again, and said, if I say one of these words one more time, I'm done for the night. Man, this is a minefield. This is a minefield. Trying to have a discussion about who finds certain terms racist and derogatory. I don't know how you can have that discussion without literally verbalizing those terms. Seems rather childish and silly of me. But my general manager, Jeff Reisman, came in again and said, Joe, knock it off. If you do it again, you're done for the night. You're done for the night. And oh, by the way, before I just got cut off this last time, and this one bothers me. This one bothers me again. Just going to tell you. And don't worry, Leo, don't cut me off yet. I'm not going to say it. I got too much to say. I'm married to a lovely Jewish woman. And I was telling a story that if any buddy came up to her or any member of her family and used the K word, a derogatory, hateful, offensive term to Jews, you know what I'd do? I'd punch each and every one of them. But now when I tell a story like that, hey, AM 560, The Answer, do you hear me? When I tell that story, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to say the K word. Oops. All I can do is say it's the K word. That's tough because you got to go out there and figure out all by yourself what the K word is. And you know what? That's just no way to have a real honest discussion about racist and derogatory terms. It's childish. It's childish. And hey, look, everybody, you know me. I'm trying not to do this. This Redskins story set me off. And I think it's important that we grow up and get over this stuff and have an honest dialogue. But I got to tell you, I'm disappointed in my station. Very disappointed. Heck, I ought to go have a TV show for CNN. They'd let me say the N-word, but not AM 560, The Answer. No, I get called into the woodshed and have my general manager come into this studio again. You hear what I'm saying? If I use one of these words to go after somebody, that's terrible. That's offensive. That's derogatory. That's racist. And I'll bet you Jeff Reisman would kick me off the air and I might lose my job. But, oh my word, do we not see a difference from me calling somebody the N-word and from me trying to have an honest discussion with all of you about what does the N-word mean? Who gets to say it? Who doesn't? How do you learn if you don't have that discussion? AM 560, The Answer. Damn it, I hope you're listening. I don't know how. And I got a minute here left before the break, and I'm going to try to cradle this minute because I don't want to get cut off one more time. I don't want to get yanked off the air tonight. Love to be with you for another hour. But to me, as Don Lemon at CNN said, you know what? You have a seminar on the N-word, and you don't even verbalize what the N-word is? You know what? Screw you. That sanitizes.
Stay up to date with the latest. Visit WalshFreedom.com.